In this video, I want to show you how you can build a Python plugin for QGIS. We're going to be following this tutorial here from the QGIS documentation, the tutorials and tips, and you can see the URL up there. So this video is basically going to follow this, and there's one fix in here that some of you may have problems with, and I'll show you how I fixed that. The first thing we need to do is download QGIS and download one of these network installers for advanced users. So I have already done that, and I have QGIS open right here. So the next thing that you're going to want to do is add some plugins. And QGIS makes it really easy to install plugins, which I like here. So we want to install Plugin Builder. I'll just wait while that installs here. It'll be pretty quick. And then we need to make sure our settings, we want to also show experimental plugins in our settings. And then we want to plugin reloader. And we'll install that plugin. And we're good to go. We can close this. And if we look up here in plugins, we can see we have plugin builder and plugin reloader. So the next thing I want to do is open plugin builder. And we're going to fill in this information. And if you have any questions about what this is, you can look over in the tutorial page and find out why we're naming these things what they're named. And this plugin will export a vector layer as a CSV file. And I'm probably going to cut all that stuff out, but that's fine. Okay, and then a little bit of about, just test plugin, it's fine. You know, we're not going to publish this or anything. And we want a tool button with dialog, text for the item menu. So we'll do save attributes as CSV. We're going to put this on the vector menu, which is this one right up here, so vector. And next, you can just put in placeholders here for now. This actually won't change anything. We'll tag it as experimental so it doesn't always show up in our thing there. And then we want to put it in this .qgis2. This will be under your users. There's the path there, QGIS2/python/plugins, and we'll just select the folder, and we're good to go. You see it's made a path here for us, and we'll say OK. All right. Now, if I remember correctly, this next part is where you may have some problems. So if we look at where we're at here in the tutorial, we've done all this, we've started the boilerplate, I guess, for our plugin, and then we opened the OSGeo 4W shell, which you can find on your local disk C, 64, and it should be this OSGeo 4W batch, the batch file, and that pulls that up. Okay, so what we want to do next is we want to go to users, Oh, I keep forgetting the CD. And it should be Python and plugins and save attributes. Okay, so now this tells us that we need to make or compile the resource file. And so to do that, we're going to be in our plugin, the directory where we created our plugin, and we're going to type this command: make pyrcc4 -o, and we want resources underscore rc.py, and then resources.qrc. Okay, and then we hit enter, this command should run. And I get this: make is not recognized as an internal or external command, optional program, or batch file. Now, I found a fix for this on GIS Stack Exchange. You can go to this URL here, Google something like this, and you'll find it. And the answer that I've found that works for me is this one here, using the command prompt, the Windows command prompt. And so I'm going to do that right now and pull this up, and okay, and so it's kind of the same, we're using the same program, just from different command line prompt, because it seems as if the OSGO4W shell has some problems with it. Oh, and that's because I didn't do pyrcc. We need a 4 in there. Okay. Now that should have compiled this QRC file to a Python file. And the way we can tell is we go back into here. We're going to have to close this first of all and restart QGIS. So we'll wait for this. And there are some other options on that if you run into problems. So now we should go over to vector, and we should see our save attributes, and we should be able to do this, and we have our dialog box here. Okay, so great, we've got that there. That's what we want. We can see there's nothing there, the buttons won't do anything, so the next step is going to be to add those buttons, and that's the functionality. Okay, so to add functionality to those buttons, we need to open Qt Creator. And if you haven't installed this, there are directions in the plugin tutorial that I showed you. And so I'm going to open a file or project. I'm going to navigate to where my plugin is stored. Which is right here. And I'm going to open this Save Attributes Dialog Base UI. So it's the UI file that we want to open. So if I open that, and you can see here that now my UI file is open in Qt Creator. And once I have that open, what I want to do is I want to add a combo box, and I want to add a label. You can just drag and drop them, and once I have those in here, I can change this label to say select a layer, and then I can move this combo box. I don't need to change the properties, and I can, resize that, to whatever size I like. We'll do it like that. File, save. Okay. And now I can come back into QGIS, and I can go to plugins, plugin reloader, reload plugin, save attributes, vector, save attributes, and you can see that I have this. Nothing happens still, so we still have to add the code to do that. And so what I'm going to do for the code is I am just going to copy it from the tutorial. And so where I want to do that is I actually should probably have this open here. Users. Save attributes. Okay. And the file that I want to open is this save attributes.py. I'm going to edit that with Notepad++. Okay. So I'm going to scroll down, and there's this def run cell function here. Actually, it showed up right there. And it's at the very bottom of the file, and this is where I'm going to add the code. And so to do something useful here is what I want to add this in. Okay. Oh, hold on, I didn't want to do that yet. That's not the right spot. So this is going to be right at the top of the file, actually. We're going to add it in here. So we want to do layers. So we're getting the legend interface, but we're getting the layers from the legend interface, which is QGIS, where that shows the layers you have loaded in. And make an empty list, and for each layer we are going to append that layer to this new list. Okay. And then we're going to tell the dialog, the combo box in the dialog, to add the items that are in layer list. Okay. So that should give us what we want. We'll save that. And then if I go back to QGIS, go to my plugins, plugin reloader, reload my plugin, vector. Oh, and the thing I have to do first, I wanted to actually add a vector layer. So we'll add a vector layer in. We'll browse for one here. And this shape file ought to give me something. Okay, so we've got a shape file in there. And now if I go to my vector, save attributes, let's see, so you can see that I have this drop down that now has my layer in it. Okay, now these buttons still don't do anything. Cancel will probably actually close it. Okay, won't do anything yet. But we've got that loaded up there now. So the next thing is to go back into our dialog here, and we want to have a way to choose our output file. And so we'll put in a new label, and we'll put in a line edit, and we'll put in a push button. Okay, so we got that in there. We can change the text in this to just ... Change the size. Put it over there. Get our line edit, and this is going to be select output file. Slide that over there. Grab this. Make it longer. I'm not worrying about how this looks too much. You can do some layouts to adjust how these work if you would like. And we're going to save that. Okay. And then we're going to go back over to our save attributes text file. And we need to go to the top here, and we need to add an import, which is QFileDialog. Okay, so once you get that added in, we're going to go back down and add a new function right above run. And we're going to name this select output file and just pass itself. And then the file name is going to QFileDialog. And what this will do is bring up the Windows File Explorer where you can select the file you want to name. So we're going to do select or get save file name. We're going to pass it the dialog, and this is going to be the text that appears. Select output file, and then the extension is going to be .txt, and we should be good with that line. And then self.dlg, and then we want to get the line edit dot set text file name. So this will set the text of the line edit to the file name that we select. Okay, so now let's save that, and we will go back over here, plugins, plugin reloader, reload plugin, and then we'll go over to vector, save attributes, and you can see here that we have this. When I click on this button, it doesn't do anything, which it should do something, but we haven't linked it up yet. That's the problem. Okay, I forgot we haven't linked this up yet. So now we need to go back to our Python file. We need to go up to the top to the initialization, so our init here, and at the bottom down here we want to do self.dlg. We want to get the line edit, we want to clear it, okay, and then we need to link up the push button so that when it's clicked we connect it to our function that we made that will select the output file. Okay. Now, if I haven't made any errors in my code, we should be all ready to go. So let's plugins, plugin reloader, we'll reload that, and then vector, save attributes as CSV. Boom. Now we can open that up. I can go to desktop and I can type in test and I can click save, but our OK button doesn't do anything yet still. Or it shouldn't. It just closed it, I think. So the next thing we need to do is we need to actually add some logic to get this to work. And so this is where we're going to add code in the run function. So we're going to go back to this. We're going to come down to run. And in here is where we can write in our code. Okay. So we're going to get the file name from the dialog, from the line edit. We want to get the text. Okay. And then we're going to make this output file. We're going to open the file name. We want to write to it. Selected layer index. Get it from the dialog. From the combo box where we're selecting the layer we want to export. And we want to get current index, and we want to know what the selected layer is. So we're going to go to layers, selected layer index, and we want to get the fields from that layer. We want to get the field names. Field name for field in fields. Okay. And then for F in selected layer, we want to get the features. And then we're going to make the line of text to print out. And put a end line there. Close off our parentheses. Not yet. Oh, this should go back here. There we go. And then we want to go Unicode line equals line dot encode UTF-8, and then output file write Unicode line. And then output file close. Okay. And I'm pretty sure, let me just make sure that we're good here. I think we want to get rid of this pass as well. Okay. Okay. So I think we've got that ready to go. And let's just make sure QGIS handles it well now. Make sure I didn't have any errors in there. So we want to go to plugins, plugin reloader, go back to vectors, save attributes to CSV. We're going to make this test.txt, and we'll click save, and we'll click OK. No errors popped up. Let's see what we get here, and boom, we have all our data in a text file. Comma separated values. So that is how you can build a plugin with QGIS following their simple tutorial. Hope you enjoyed that video.